This podcast is about how emotions are holding us back and how sometimes we can believe that these problems are here to stay. And these problems are because of our dyslexia and we can't change them. And actually we can change them, and it teaches in detail about how to do that. And I hope you guys enjoy. What's happening, guys? I'm recording another one of these in my car again. I hope you don't mind. And today I want to talk about what holds us back the most as dyslexics. And I feel I want to dive deep into sort of those two things that I think hold us back the most as dyslexics, like situation to situation, and it's fear and anger. These two emotions are big emotions, and we can call them different words than fear and anger. You can be scared, frustrated, annoyed. We can call them a lot of different words, but ultimately fear and anger are what holds us back the most. And there's a lot of things to be fearful for and a lot of things to be angry about, especially when you're dyslexic, growing up and feeling slightly different than everyone else. But I want to talk to you about how we can overcome this and move forward and not letting fear and anger hold us back. So I'll tell you a little story with myself. I remember one time, this is a little while ago now, and I didn't expect to realise it, and when I realised it, my life changed a lot, and it was emotionally so lifting and uplifting. So this is a story when basically I was doing all these I love going to seminars, going to events, trying to learn more about myself and trying to be the best person of myself. Anyway, I was at this event called, I don't know what it's called. I was at this event. I was at this event. Basically, there was for like 4 days. There was like a couple of hundred. There was 200 of us in a small room with a speaker, and it was really, really, really good event. And this is like the second seminar of the series. Like you do the first one. If you want to, you can buy the second one. And I bought the second one. And when you're going through it, we were talking about all these different stuff. And at the end, there was a big exercise that everyone had to go through, and it was like a really emotional exercise. And I can't remember in detail about what it was or why we did it and all this sort of stuff. I think they were like, just do it. You get whatever you get out of it, just do it. So I decided to do it like with everyone else. And the whole thing was to close your eyes and to feel fear. And feel the negative emotions of like maybe regret and all these sort of things, and you feel these in your body, and all these things happen. And then basically she said, break through a wall, and you'll look back on the other side of the wall, and you'll see what's holding you back. I was doing it. I was really into it. I remember feeling really intense. My hands were like clenched, and I remember looking back on the wall, and what I saw written on the wall I didn't expect. What I saw on that wall was something that I thought was childish, that I overcome ages ago. But it was this. It was saying, you are not enough. These words saying, you are not enough. I just heard that, and then I said to myself, I am enough. I am enough. And that emotionally hooked me, and I was like, oh my God. Every time I say this to myself, I am enough, a big emotional anchors happen, a big emotional hits happening each time. I feel like getting punched in the face for emotion every time I say this, because I feel like me saying I am enough is hard, because I probably didn't believe I was enough. And I remember sort of like trying to figure out why I believed this, that I wasn't enough. And coming back in my childhood, I realised, I think there was one moment in my childhood, I remember it very clearly, that it was because of my dyslexic difficulties, but made me realise I wasn't enough, and made me realise be on this journey and basically sort of not appreciate myself. And it was when, I remember I was in class. This is before I was diagnosed with dyslexia, before that whole thing. I remember I was in class, and I can't remember what the kids were doing or whatever, but I remember going to this kid's desk, and this kid had like one of these basically like 2010 Guinness World Record books that are really shiny, and kids love it. So I started opening it up, I started looking through it, and then the kid who brought in the book complained to the teacher. The teacher got so annoyed with me, so he ripped the book out of my hand and told me to go outside and sit down and think about what you'd done. I didn't have a clue what I did wrong. Everyone wants me to pick up books to read, even though I can't read, and I thought they'd be happy that I'm looking inside a book. I thought I was doing something good. And I remember sitting outside, kicking around all the lunch boxes, and just sitting down and being so angry and so frustrated. And then I remember thinking to myself really clearly, I don't know how life works. I don't know how people work. I don't understand how people work. And I think that then I got obsessed, like you mean to, not obsessed, but I think then I made the decision, like, I got to understand how people work. Because obviously I don't get it. I don't understand how things work. And I think from then I realised, look, I'm not enough. I need to grow. I need to, do better. And because as you all go through school, the reason why I'm saying this is because we all go through school, the people saying you're not good enough. This ain't good enough. Try this, do that, and all this sort of stuff that we feel that we're not good enough. Because we constantly go through school, our work never being good enough, and then we go through, get a job, and then end up working twice as hard as everyone else, like in the hours, and being absolutely exhausted, and keep on beating ourselves down, because subconsciously we feel we're not enough. Subconsciously we feel that, and we don't often notice that, but sometimes we don't appreciate ourselves. We don't really take time to care for ourselves, because we never got taught to care for ourselves. The only thing we got taught is to work harder. Try harder, work harder, focus more to get this test. And this is what I want to talk to you today about. Like, oftentimes we have all this baggage that we have from the past that can often demonstrate themselves in having emotions of fear or anger. When you're in the classroom, now if you're still in school, when you're in the classroom, you be angry at someone. It could be anything. And oftentimes our fear and anger, isn't it? We feel those emotions to disguise what we're really feeling, that we're not enough. What we're really feeling, other people find out that we can't do this. What we're really feeling is insecure. And we often can explain that with fear. We're scared of certain things, or angry, and be angry at other people so other people can fear us. And so oftentimes these, like I would say, Tony Robbins says, but these two emotions are the top emotions that hold people back in their life. Fear and anger. And especially as dyslexics, because think about all the reasons that you can be fearful, or the reasons that we can be angry. We've got a lot of reasons to be fearful, don't we? Fearful that people find out we have dyslexia, got to get discriminated. Especially me in class right now. I remember coming out from an English class thinking, I'm not equipped. I ain't got the facilities for this. And basically all the kids, how do you spell this word? How do you spell this word? And I think, well, I'm dyslexic, like, so let's have a guess. But there's always little things saying, oh no, they'll get told off by the teacher because it's wrong, or this or that, or this or that. There's all these things happening. I know there's strategies that I can do to help me help me go around it, so without saying that I can't spell it or whatever. But what I'm saying is that the emotional fear and anger is oftentimes what can screw a dyslexic up a lot. Oftentimes what can muck them up when they're trying to go through their day and they feel fearful. People find out dyslexic, or people discriminate against them, or they might be hurt again. They could be angry at the world that they didn't give them the support they think they deserve. And I want to leave this here with a message saying, yeah, fearful, angry. And I originally want to talk about this podcast a lot about, like, with confidence and making friends as a dyslexic, and what's the concept of it and how to do that. And because oftentimes we're fearful or angry to make friends, and we're fearful that people would make fun of us. We're angry because, well, not necessarily angry, we're not more fearful about what's the negative thing can happen. People make fun of us, people not liking us, people talking behind us back, us looking weird, us doing all this sort of other stuff. But just so many, I think, because people have dyslexia and they say, I've got dyslexia, I got this medical diagnosis of dyslexia, this is what it means, and then they use this fact of what dyslexia is, and then say all the other problems they experience in life, and then use it as a fact, saying this is the way things are. I haven't had a friend for 10 years, that means I'll never be able to one. I haven't had a job for this amount of time, or I've been fired for this many jobs, and this is a fact. This means I'll never be able to get friends, never be able to get jobs. And I feel they're having this language of never being able to, or these problems are facts that will stay there, just like my dyslexia. That's what's stopping us, because the problems of not having any friends, the problem of not feeling you can do things socially, these are malleable problems. What I mean by that, you can improve upon it. You can improve, for example, you try and be confident and then you get so scared or you freeze up. You can overcome these problems. You can do it. You can. It's only up to you. And so your dyslexia is not stopping you making friends. It can be harder, but the reason why you freeze, the reason why you get butterflies in your stomach is because of the fear. It's because in your nervous system, technically, it's what you associate to the situation. I associate fear, I associate pain to the situation before it's actually happened. Fear is a made-up emotion to keep us from doing bad stuff. You have to remember something, that our brain, human beings' brains are 2 million years old, and it's designed to make us survive, not designed to make us thrive or be happy. But you have to override this thing. We have to work on it to make us happy, to make us be able to do the things we want to do, to push ourselves to go past the fear. Does that make sense, guys? So I want us to leave with this, with saying that, look, yes, we have dyslexia, and yes, these emotions happen. But I want us to realise that, yes, things are hard, but these problems aren't facts. They aren't here to stay. The only reason why they'll stay is because I'm going to decide them to stay. I'm going to let them stay. Of course it's hard, but it's only up to you to improve it, only up to you to get better. And one little tip I would say for that, especially when it comes to confidence and changing basically the identity that you have of yourself, do something every day that scares you. Do something every day that scares you. Something little that scares you. Make sure that every single day, and guess what? For example, me with confidence, I wouldn't speak to anyone. I'd be unconfident. And this, what's a video of this guy saying, well, like, say hi to 20 random people. That's it. When you're in a public place, just say hi. Doesn't care if they say hi back. Can give you weird looks or whatever. Just say hi to 20 random people. And I did that for a couple of days. First time was extremely scary. Second time it was extremely scary. Third time scary. Fourth time a little easier. And that's how you do it, and it gets easier and easier and easier. And before long, it's so easy to say hi to 20 random people. Then you move on to the next task, to scare yourself even more. And that will build your self-esteem. Do something every day that scares you. It could be with English. For example, with me, I always relate to this because it's happening daily. Handing up books. I don't know all the kids in the class names. I only know a few of them names, people that work more one-to-one. But handing their books out. I'm scared to hand their books out because I know I don't remember their names. But what's good, because me handing their books out makes me force myself to remember their names. That's really helpful, guys. So I hope we got something from this, and I hope we learned something for this. And anyway, guys, take care, and please like, share, subscribe if you think it'll be useful and I think it'll be valued to other people. Share it to other people. Do all that stuff, guys, and take care, and bye. So the big question is this: how can dyslexics like us create a place, a community, a tribe, where people at any stage of life can come and solve any challenge, amplify their strengths, and ultimately help them become who they were meant to be, or in other words, conquer their dyslexia? That is the question, and this show is the answer. My name's Theo Goff, and welcome to the Conquering Dyslexia podcast.